The TDP database may be accessed at tools.decisionplatform.io. From here, you will enter your user ID, and below that, your password. If you'd like these credentials to be saved going forward, just check the Remember Me box and sign in. This is what your home screen will look like when you log in, and you can always access it by hitting home in the top left. This page is organized by business case. Since this is onboarding, we only have one business case demonstration, which has two searches, sensor and AI. To access these lists, all you have to do is click on the title. So here we click sensor, and it will load the search for this list. If you click home again, another way to access your list is by clicking scorecards. And you'll go down to saved company searches, and a list of all searches that have been done will be here. All you do is click the list you want and view selected. And again, it'll take you back to the same page. The first thing to note on this page is this gray box. This is the search parameters. So here we have sensor with an asterisk, which is a wildcard, so we'll search sensor, sensors, etc. On the right, we have some statistics. We got companies, the review time, what we estimate it'll take to go through the list, the average age of all the startups, and the average age or the average survival. Here in the description, this is the name of the list. Who created the list is the next one, followed by the client, and then the business case, which this field will grow with more options as we go. Down below is the list itself of all the startups. And as you can see, there's a lot of them. There's 50 on each page. To access and view the descriptions, all you do is click the drop-down arrow. You can see the name, description, a brief summary, and a URL. If you scroll to the right, there'll be other things like high concept, product description, a space for notes, company size, basically all the data we have on the startup. A second way to access this is by just hitting the view selected when a startup is selected. Again, you'll note the name, an overview, the URL, the summary description, and some scores such as execution, survivability, and key data points. You may select multiple by holding the shift button, and then when you click the view selected, it will pull all of those scorecards. Now, in this checked box section, you may check and uncheck startups as you please. This is a save state, so if you leave the list, the check marks will be saved. And this is a great way to keep track of startups that stick out to you and that you want to investigate further. From here, you can click the Create Shortlist, and it will create a new list of just the startups that were checked. In the description box, you may put in a title. It'll be assigned to you, and then you can choose the business case you want to put it in, and you just hit the Save button there. And when this green thing turns permanent, then you know the list is saved. Another thing is you can click the Notes section here, and you have a notepad, and you can put any notes you would like about any of the startups here, and it saves automatically upon close, and you'll notice now there's an asterisk, which just shows there's data inside of it. The last functionality is exporting a list. You can click this button, and it will download the list in a CVS or CSV file, and you can access the list via Excel or numbers, which can sometimes be easier to work with data. If we click back to the home page, there is one more functionality we would like to demonstrate, and if you click this Add Charts, Acquisition Urgency, you fill in the bubble that says Include data only from these lists, and for this case we chose Sensor. And this will create an interactive chart on the data that we have for these startups, and it'll just take a minute to load. And here you can see the data that it builds out: acquired count, created count, funding rounds, total dollars raised, and age of fundings. Like I said, this is interactive, and you just click on the data and it will remove it from the graph. So here you can compare the number of acquisitions to the number of startups being created, which can give insights on times to make decisions. And we can look at the totals dollars raised versus funding rounds, and this can help us predict future information about funding and startups and acquisitions and creation in the future. This concludes this tutorial. If you have any questions, please let us know at TDP directly. Thank you.